A happy ending for an amnesia victim is short-lived. Coming up on Channel 13 News tonight, Don Cherry's identity has caught up with him, and so has the law.
Still more violence on that runway in Cyprus tonight as terrorists issue more demands.
And the Academy has spoken, but how do these movie experts feel about what Oscar says?
Channel 13 News tonight is next.
Is your job getting routine? Are you getting ready to build a new career? The University of Cosmetology will teach you the skills needed for a career in the beauty and hairstyling field. With worldwide demand for skilled stylists, you'll have a chance to live in one of the exciting cities you've dreamed about. Call the University of Cosmetology today at 458-6333.
This is KTNV 13. Now, Kyle Meenan, Candace Armstrong, weather with John Potter, and Ron Futrell with sports. Live, this is Channel 13 News Tonight.
Today, he was celebrating the fact he was on his way home. Tonight, he is behind bars, arrested by the FBI. Good evening, I'm Candace Armstrong.
And I'm Kyle Meenan. Thanks for being with us. This is a story that has become more and more bizarre with each passing day, and the latest twist was the arrest early tonight of the man who was once known as Ralph Doe. It was exciting news earlier today when this bona fide amnesia victim spoke with his mother in Indiana, and plans were underway to head back to Kansas to a hospital for treatment of his illness. But Don Cherry, that's his real name, was also wanted by the FBI. He left his home after an argument with his wife in Indianapolis, Indiana, back on February 8th. The FBI says they recovered his tractor-trailer a month later in Oklahoma and the cab of his rig in Illinois. The truck, they say, was involved in the interstate transport of $50,000 worth of illegal goods. A warrant has been issued for Don's arrest. Tonight, Don Cherry is in the Clark County House of Detention. He's been charged by the FBI, but the people who have known him, the people who say they are his friends here in Las Vegas, say there's no way he could be guilty of the crime he's charged with.
There's just no way. I'm going down there and see him now. He needs somebody. He needs to know that somebody cares about him.
Frank Muska sort of adopted Don Cherry after watching our story of his plight. The two men have spent many hours together over the past week and a half, and tonight he still can't believe the arrest.
Yeah, the FBI got the right guy, but I don't think that Don Cherry set out to actually rob anybody or take anybody's valuables.
Frank wonders if Don had his bout of amnesia and his truck was stolen and used in a crime, or maybe he was beaten and robbed of his rig. But that's up to the FBI and the courts to decide now. Now, the FBI acknowledges Cherry has a past case of amnesia, but they wouldn't say much about his arrest tonight. Don Cherry is being held tonight at the county jail. We'll have more on the story tomorrow on Channel 13 News at 5:30. Candace?
The murder trial of Robert Weeks uncovered more accounts of how his wife Patricia was beaten days before she disappeared. Friends of Weeks' wife testified against the Las Vegans, saying he made death threats 20 years ago to Patricia Weeks. One close friend says she's sure Robert Weeks was behind his wife's mysterious disappearance in 1968.
I knew he had done something with her, and I said, Bob, what have you done with Pat? Where is she? And I kept asking him. And he just paused and waited for a little while. And then he told me, he says, this is his words, she either had a nervous breakdown or she's dead.
Patricia Weeks' body was never found, nor was the body of Robert Weeks' girlfriend, Cynthia Jabor. Police are also trying him for that murder. The controversy surrounding the new film Colors is making its way into Las Vegas tonight. Critics say that movie glorifies gang membership. Colors opens Friday here in Las Vegas, but police in Los Angeles got a sneak preview of it last month. They are afraid it could promote even more violence on their streets, and Metro is sharing their concern. In fact, police here have made attempts to pull this movie from local theaters, and people who live along gang turf are also worried.
Well, I think when it goes on the air, I don't think it'd be good for the public. No? I really don't.
You worried about it?
Yeah, I am.
3 local theaters are scheduled to release Colors on Friday. The Gold Coast is one of them. They've already decided to cancel their midnight showings of it. Police in Los Angeles are saying tonight their highly publicized weekend gang crackdown was a success. About 1,000 officers, all working overtime, blanketed the city in dusk-to-dawn patrols that netted them more than 1,400 arrests. But despite that weekend crackdown, 4 people were killed as a result of gang violence. Kyle?
In the world tonight, that week-old standoff continues on a runway in Cyprus. Despite today's second killing, Kuwait's foreign minister says he's prepared to lose even more hostages to terrorists holding that Kuwaiti jet tonight. The hijackers want more fuel, a getaway, and freedom for their comrades held in Kuwaiti jails. They issued another deadline this morning, and when the fuel didn't arrive, they followed through with their death threats. They shot and then threw another body off the plane.
We executed a Kuwaiti officer. We hereby confirm that the craft must be refueled immediately before we take more dangerous steps.
When that body arrived at a local hospital, the brutality of the hijackers was obvious. But tonight, Kuwait is holding strong to its promise not to give in to terrorism. Late today in Lebanon, the kidnappers of Marine Colonel William Higgins, who was abducted back in February, warned that any attempt to storm that plane in Cyprus would be, quote, putting the hangman's noose around the neck of Higgins. Yesterday, a similar threat was made about hostage Terry Anderson. There is growing evidence tonight that the hijackers in Cyprus are tied to the group in Lebanon, which is holding 9 Americans.
Well, on a lighter note, perhaps the best-known radio personality is bringing his live talk show to Las Vegas. That story is coming up.
And the whole country is talking about the Oscars tonight. Are you moviegoers here agreeing with the Academy? We'll find out next.
At St. Rosalima Hospital, the Adrian Dominican Sisters appreciate the help and service of many self-sacrificing volunteers. Sister Noreen McKeough is the director of volunteers and coordinates their activities in both medical and business departments. Her loving guidance and dedication to community involvement distinguish St. Rosalima from other area healthcare providers. At St. Rosalima, the tradition of quality Catholic healthcare continues.
It's time for Albertsons Test Drive Sweepstakes.
Hello, everyone. I'm Margot Watson, representing Albertsons in the Las Vegas area. I'd like to welcome you to the Test Drive Sweepstakes from Albertsons Supermarkets, co-sponsored by Falcone's Tropicana Honda. Every Monday night for the next 4 weeks, Albertsons will be giving away 3 Honda Civics to 3 lucky Albertsons shoppers. So, let's find out who the lucky winners are tonight. Dig down deep for number 1. Back here for number 2. And here's the last drawing from the thousands of entries in that drum. Okay, tonight's first winner is Dominique Gigi from Las Vegas. The second winner is Pat Cash from Las Vegas. And the third one is Wes Ceremony from the Las Vegas area. Congratulations! There is still time to enter, so make sure you go down to your local Albertsons right away. This is Margot Watson saying good night, and I'll see you next Monday, same time, same place, with more winners.
You in a heap of trouble, boy. Don't you know you can't land a plane in a parking lot?
But Sheriff,
Don't but me, boy. What are you hauling in there?
I get the freshest fish anywhere.
Open it.
You see, Sheriff, at Fisherman's Broiler, they demand only the freshest fish. And the way they cook it keeps that fresh flavor in right up until you sink your teeth into it.
Next time you bring a load in here, you notify the proper authorities, you hear? So I can be the first in line.
The film called The Last Emperor swept the Academy Awards tonight with 9 wins on 9 nominations. It's a long movie, nearly 3 hours without an intermission, but Las Vegans who opted to watch it tonight instead of the awards themselves say it was time well spent and very deserving of all the awards.
Because I like these kind of epics, you know, and it's just a kind of return to the old kind of movie. The love scene was fantastic.
Other big winners tonight were Cher for Best Actress in Moonstruck and Michael Douglas for Best Actor in Wall Street. Winning an Oscar can be a big help to an actor, actress, director, or producer's career, but perhaps the biggest boost money-wise is felt at the hometown box offices. Workers here at the Cinedome Movie Theater Complex boast about running all of the major Academy Award nominees at one time or another, except for Moonstruck. Traffic was rather light here at the movie theaters tonight, and workers speculate that's because they were home watching the Academy Awards. The workers themselves were doing the same thing. We snuck behind the ticket office and found them watching TV, too. The manager brought in a spare TV to the back office to watch the awards tonight with workers who had some spare time. Best Picture was the big one they were waiting for.
The Last Emperor.
A clean sweep. It's incredible.
We pretty much know now our business is going to pick up for The Last Emperor, and if anybody asks us what's playing at our theater, we can say, well, we have the Best Picture, you know, and that kind of picks it up for us.
Nominations themselves draw more moviegoers, but tonight's clean sweep by The Last Emperor ensures a swell to the ticket line. In fact, the impact was immediate.
We was coming over to see Good Morning Vietnam. We stopped off at the bar to have a drink before we came over and saw the awards and seen previews of The Last Emperor, so we're here to see it instead.
The sweep by The Last Emperor makes it the most honored film by the Academy since West Side Story took 10 Oscars in 1961. Kyle?
Well, from film to radio, the man who's probably interviewed most of those winners is in town tonight interviewing a few more stars for his radio show. Larry King is in town for the National Association of Broadcasters Convention, so he decided while he's here, he'd do his radio call-in show. Our own John Potter had a chance to talk with King tonight. According to the Guinness Book of World Records, Larry King's interviewed more than 30,000 people, probably more hours than anyone in his field.
Whenever the NAB comes here, we broadcast, and the Radio Programmers Conference, I think, met here once. But I like Las Vegas. I've always liked it. As a 3-day town, I can't take it for more than 3 days. And then I know a lot of people love living here, and I've had friends that have moved here.
Jay Leno and Red Fox were on Larry's show tonight. Tomorrow night, King will be talking with Rich Little, and you can hear that on K-News 970 from 8 o'clock until 11.
Well, John Potter is back from the Hilton tonight, and he'll be along in a little while with more Larry.